Hey, it's your boy Mr. Crayfish. Welcome back everybody to another vehicle mod changelog. If you guys didn't catch the previous video, this is a new series I'm starting on my second channel where I go over the entire changelog of my vehicle mod, because in my main videos, on my main channel videos, if you're not subscribed to my main channel, what the heck, but on my main channel I basically do these kind of like they're kind of showcase videos, but they're kind of like content, like a bit of like content and entertainment at the same time. Going over the main features of the update, but you guys don't really see all the small things, such as sometimes there's like small features that I miss out, or even all like the bug fixes get left out as well from those videos. So in this video I actually go over everything, and also in a little bit more detail, and they're usually a lot longer, these videos, compared to the ones on my main channel. Like, I'm pretty sure the last video was like almost a half an hour long. I don't know, I can't remember too much. I don't really check the length of the videos. I just edit and upload that, you know. I don't even worry about the length, as long as it's over 10 minutes. That's when I do worry about the length. But let's go ahead, let's get into this changelog, because we have a ton of things to go through, especially because this update was quite, I would say it's quite a significant one. It introduced a brand new wheel system. So let's jump straight into it and let's start showing it off right now. So the first thing on my list is, we're just going to go through the list here. Added the ability to change wheels on your vehicles, and then also added new wheels. So let's go ahead and add them. So it's very similar to how you would change an engine previously. So you need to go ahead and get a jack, and then we're also going to go ahead and get out a vehicle that has wheels on it. Let's go ahead. I'm going to grab the where's the go-kart. I'm also going to grab another vehicle here, because I want to show something off that I didn't show off in the main video. And of course we're going to go into a little bit more detail in this. I'm just trying to find an alright vehicle that I could actually use for this that would show it off. Alright, I think jet ski will do it. Alright, let's go ahead, let's pop this down, and let's spawn in this go-kart here. So let's go ahead, let's actually check out how we actually change the wheels first. Then we're going to go into the wheels here. As you can see, we got 7 of them. So we got the stock, sports, racing, off-road, snow, all-terrain, and plastic. In the next update, I am actually going to have information on it. So just like the other kind of items in here where you can hold shift and it gives you some extra information, the next update of the vehicle mod should have that for the wheels as well. So I won't have to, you don't have to look at this video, you don't have to watch this video in order to find out how they affect your vehicles. You can just, do it in game. But yeah, you simply just pick up the vehicle, pop it onto a jack, and then of course you're going to need to get, not a hammer, you're going to need to grab a wrench. Let's just go ahead and grab these sports wheels for a second here. Right click your vehicle, and it comes up with the edit GUI here. So that's just a little view here. So you got your normal engine here, and then down below we have a brand new slot which is for wheels, so we can actually take that out. It's just as simple as, just any sort of entity inventory. So just take that out, pop that on, and now Bob's your uncle, you've got sports wheels on your go-kart. Really, really simple. Now I want to show you why I got this second vehicle crate out, which is the jet ski, because if we clearly see here, the jet ski has no wheels. So if we were to actually pop this onto the jack here and edit it, of course we can change around the engine, but something I had to kind of do in the back end was still make that wheel slot available, but in a special way. So if we go ahead and right click on this, as you can see, we still have access to the engine, but the wheel slot here is still technically a slot. It's still registered as a slot, but it doesn't actually allow you to put a wheel here. And as you can see, it's actually got a cross. It says wheels and then not applicable. So we can't actually put a wheel on here and change the wheels on a jet ski. It's not possible at all. So that's just a small thing that you might come across if you were changing the engine on any vehicles that do not have wheels. I think it also applies to the plane, the sofa copter, and I don't know what else. There's probably a couple of other boats. The aluminum boat as well would apply to it. So just a small thing I wanted to point out with the jack. Something I also missed in the main video as well is the crafting bench, and we will get into that in a second here, but when you do craft your vehicles, you can actually specify the wheel as well before you craft it now. So it's just like the color, you can do that with the wheel, and we'll get into that in a second here. But let's go ahead. Let's first check out all the different wheel types. Now, if you haven't watched the main video, wheels have different properties. So depending on the surface you drive them on, it's going to behave differently for each type of wheel. So for wheels that are designed for road, they're going to go faster on road. If you have some off-road wheels, they're going to be faster on the off-road, but not as good on road. There's also snow wheels, all-terrain wheels. So let's go ahead, let's check them out right now. And let's see if we can spot the difference, shall we? So let's go ahead, we've already got the sports wheels on there. Let's go ahead, let's pop the normal wheels back on. Actually, before we go ahead and do that, when we actually don't have any wheels on it, it's not going to render it. You still can actually hop on the vehicle and turn the engine on, but as you can see, we can't actually drive anywhere. I mean, we're on the jack, but if we were to pop it onto the ground here, as you can see, we cannot drive anywhere. So this is a thing about just a small little thing I had to add into the code to make sure you couldn't drive the vehicle without wheels on it. Let's go ahead, let's pop the stock wheels back on, and let's actually go ahead and test the speed of this right now, because these are the stock wheels. They actually reduce the speed of the vehicle by 10%. So if you had stock wheels on your vehicle previously, it's no longer going to be that fast. So let's go ahead, let's drive around here. Let's see how fast we actually go with this on. So we're currently going at 16.2 blocks per second. And you'll notice as soon as I go off road here, the vehicle actually slows down. So we slowed down to 14.4 blocks per second. And the same would apply if we started driving through snow. However, snow is a lot more, it's a lot more, what's the word, like forgetful? I forgot what the word, like a good word to describe. Forgiving, that's the word, forgiving. Snow is a lot more, is less forgiving, sorry, less forgiving. So if we go ahead and let's just pop down some snow blocks here, because right now I don't really have any sort of where I can actually pop some snow down. We'll just make sure this is long enough, just so we have enough time to check out what the speed is. We're also going to need to pop down some slabs at the front here, because the go-kart can't go up a block's height. This is where the wheels will actually slow down quite a lot. So you're ready here, watch this. So we are now going 9 blocks per second on snow. So the 3 different types of surfaces that affect the wheels is solid surfaces like this, off-road, so like grass, dirt, and then snow surfaces. So those are the 3 different types of surfaces that will affect the speed of your vehicle depending on the wheels you have on it. So those are the stock wheels. Let's go ahead, let's check out the other ones right now. So we'll go ahead, grab them all out here. We've already got the stock, so let's grab out the sports, the racing, off-road, snow, all-terrain, and plastic. We also need to grab out the wrench again, forgot we needed that. So let's change these wheels here to the sports wheels. So these are essentially an upgraded version of the stock wheels, so they will go faster on the road. I think they have the same performance off-road, and they also have the same performance when it goes on snow. We'll have a look here in a second here. Let's go ahead, let's drive this around real quickly. So we are now going 18 blocks per second compared to, I think it was like 16.2 or something like that. So a little bit faster. I actually might be changing this around again, because I want to make like the impact of the wheels actually quite significant, so you can actually notice a difference. But let's go ahead, let's drive this on the snow here. You'll see that the sports tires go down to 9 blocks per second. If we go off-road here, it is 13.5. So definitely already we can see that compared to the stock wheels and the sports wheels are a lot faster on road, but on the snow they're pretty much the same. So let's go ahead, let's get the next one up, which is the racing wheels. So these are kind of like a family here. So we have the stock, the sports, and the racing. So this is like tier 1, tier 2, tier 3. If you like to think about it like that. Well, I like to think about it like that. Let's go ahead, let's check out these racing wheels now. Yeah, these are definitely a lot faster. As you can see, 19.8, and this does actually feel a lot faster. We're going like 2 blocks per second faster than the sports wheels. Off-road, this thing is alright. I think it's actually worse than the stock wheels. So racing wheels are definitely not made for going off-road, and this is kind of where I said I wanted to change around the properties. I feel like racing wheels should be even worse than that because they have one particular use, and that is to be driven on a solid surface. They're not really designed for off-road, so I want to make a bigger impact with that. And as we didn't really actually check out the models here. I actually didn't even do this like in the main video at all. So that is the sport. That's not the sports wheel. That's the racing wheel. So it's got like a really kind of thin tire and then a big rim in the middle there. Let's go ahead. Let's check out the sports tire here. So it's kind of similar, but like it's got a bigger tire and a smaller rim. And then of course we've already seen the stock wheel. Something to note as well is that the wheels are now more closer to a circle. They're still not a circle. I'm pretty sure it's like a 12-sided polygon, but because of this update and adding in the new wheels, the previous wheels wouldn't really look good if I was to create them like this, so that's why I kind of made them more of a circle. So let's go ahead, let's check out the next wheel on the list here. I don't know if I'm going to go into actually I don't think I'm going to go into the wheel details. I think I'll save that for the next changelog video because that will actually have the information when we press shift here. So I'll save that for the next changelog because I don't have the information right now available. But the next wheel we're taking a look at is the off-road wheels, and these are designed for off-road. So you notice like we're driving on a hard surface here. We got the go-kart here, which is normally a fast vehicle. We're going 13.5 on the road here, but as soon as we take it off the road here, look how much it increases. Oh, we're going 18 blocks per second off-road, but on-road we're going 13.5. So that is a significant shift there in speeds. And then when we actually go onto the snow here, I'm pretty sure it's actually a little bit better. So let's have a look. Yeah, 15.3. So it's even better on snow than the road, which is really cool. So if you guys are like me and you like to drive off the road quite a lot, these off-road wheels are going to be for you. And they're not extremely bad on road. They're just not as fast as the racing wheels or the I think it's like the stock wheels, the sports wheels, and the racing wheels are better than the off-road. So that is that. Let's go ahead, let's move on to the next one here, which is the snow wheels, and it's pretty obvious what these wheels are going to do. And a cool thing to note about it, have a look at this. So the snow wheels have like these little spikes in them, just to kind of indicate that they're a little bit more grippy, because that's what you usually do. I think like in snow and when there's like ice on the road, people that live in those type of areas in the world will have like special tires that can drive better on it. Let me know in the comments if anybody can confirm that, but I did search it up, and I mean, I'm not going to change the model now because I think it's fine, and it clearly kind of indicates snow tires. But we go 13.5 on the road here. How about off-road? 13.5 off-road as well, so it's even for on-road and off-road. But as soon as we go onto the snow here with these snow tires, as you can see, we go up to 17.1 on the snow. So I think that's the fastest, it should be the fastest we've seen yet on snow. So again, that was 17.1 on snow. Next wheel we have is the all-terrain, and this is actually, I designed this one before I designed the snow tires, because if you actually have a look at the model, they're very, very similar. But the snow tires has the spikes in it, and I just had a little lag spike there, not sure what's going on. So these are what they say they are all-terrain. So if we actually go ahead and we drive here, I realized why my game was lagging. It was because I was running out of space for my recordings, but I've cleared that up now, and I think I just destroyed the vehicle, so I'm going to go ahead and grab that back real quickly. But basically the all-terrain tires, I don't know how much of that got saved there. Let's go ahead. Let's just do it again. We'll change around these tires here real quickly if I can pick this. Oh no, there it is. I was holding it. We've got the all-terrain tires on here. So pretty much this does the same speed on every surface. So 15.3 off-road, on-road, and on the snow. Let's go ahead, let's check out the next set of vehicles, or actually the last one here, which is the plastic wheels. And these were added just because of the dune buggy vehicle. I couldn't not add these in because it would basically break the dune buggy in terms of its looks. So I added it in, I added it back into the game, and the cool thing is you can put it on any vehicle as well. So if you want plastic tires on your off-roader or go-kart, you can do it. However, these plastic wheels are the worst ones in the game. I'm pretty sure it slows down your speed, your top speed, by 50%. As you can see, look at this. We are going really slow, 9 blocks per second on an off-road, and how about on the snow here? I'm pretty sure it's the same on the snow as well. They're kind of like a all-terrain tire, but they're the 9 as well. So it's like an all-terrain tire, but just really bad. So if you kind of want to have a slow vehicle, maybe this will be the wheels that you want to use on your vehicle. Maybe you're creating like a farm or something like that. You can use these wheels on your lawnmower or ATV to slow it down a lot more. So those are the wheels, but we're not done with them yet, my dudes. The last thing that we're going to take a look at the wheels, this is pretty much the last thing to do with the wheels, is that you can actually color them now, and this is really cool because it adds a level of customization in the vehicle mod that has never been seen before. So let's go ahead, let's grab out a bunch of the wheels here. I'm pretty sure it even works on the plastic ones. We'll see here in a second. Let's go ahead, let's grab out, we'll just grab out one color here. Maybe we'll grab out the red, and it's very simple. All you gotta do is just grab a workbench. Let's go ahead, let's just move that wrench into the inventory there. So it's just like the spray can, you pop your wheel in there, you can color it. It's really basic, so we're going to color all these red right now. So red sports wheels, red racing wheels. It's good to note that the color is mixed with the kind of the rim color. So if it's a dark gray rim, you're going to get more of a dark red when you combine it. I had somebody message me, they tried to apply yellow to the racing wheels and it came out like a brown, and they were complaining that, you know, it didn't look correct. Is that? Oh, okay, it looks like the snow wheels are a bit broken there. I'll have to look into that. The all-terrain, so yeah, because of these have got white on them, they actually look a little bit brighter. And then yikes, what is going on here? We can apply a color to this, but because the rim is like a blue color, it actually it comes out really weird. I don't even know what color that is. That's not black. That's like, I don't even know. The shaders are making it look weird. Let's go ahead. Let's apply this to the vehicle here. We're just going to keep the vehicle on the jack here while we take a look at each wheel. So yeah, the red wheels, the stock wheels, they look alright. I'm a big fan of like the new wheels right now, especially like the sports. The sports wheels would have to be my favorite ones, I reckon. I mean, the racing wheels do look good, but I think the sports wheels feel a little bit better on the vehicle here. But I guess it's up to your personal preference, what you like on your vehicles. Let's pop the racing ones on. Yo, they're nice. We can shift click that off if you really want to. Put the off-road ones on, looking pretty cool. The snow wheels, as I said, not rendering correctly. I'll have to fix that up. The off-road, the all-terrain wheels, looking really bright because they are the red combined with a white. And let's go ahead and take a look at the plastic ones. It actually looks alright. It kind of removes the blue color from it and kind of changes the look of the wheel quite a lot. So that is a really cool thing about wheels now. So you can actually as well combine multiple colors as well. So as I said, it's exactly like the spray can. You can add multiple colors to it. So let's grab out the all-terrain here. Let's grab multiple dyes. So grab the light blue and the normal blue. And let's pop the all-terrain wheel, and we can get a really interesting blue here. Let's pop this onto the go-kart. Have a look at that. That's actually really nice. I'm going to take that down, pop that down there. Looking fleeky. So that is a really cool feature about this new update. You can color the wheels as well. You can color the wheels as well. Why did I even say it like that? I try to like not act too much like my main videos. Like I try to keep these more of, you know, laid back and relaxed type updates, and I just kind of continuously talk without attempting any sort of jump cuts. So if you notice in this video that there's mistakes and whatnot, and that's because in my main videos I actually cut those things out and kind of put it into a better narrative. But let's move on to the next change, which is I've improved the particles while you actually drive vehicles now. So if we go ahead, and this might be a little bit difficult to show off on the road, because on road it doesn't spawn particles, but if we go off-road here, you'll notice now when we actually drive forward, if you look at the particles being spawned, you'll notice that they're actually coming from the tires now. And because the go-kart is a rear wheel drive vehicle, the particles will actually come from the rear wheels, and we're kind of going to get stuck here just because the go-kart can't go up a block here. But as you can see, particles spawning off it, really cool. One thing I still got to kind of do with it is fix up how they spawn, because if you imagine we're going full speed right now into this block, those particles should be flying out the back like crazy, but they're kind of just like moving, I don't know, not really that far. So I'm going to go ahead fix that up at some point in the future, but regardless of that, it's really cool. So if I was to go ahead and grab out something like the off-roader here, this is where the particles are a little bit different, and we'll also grab out the smart car too, because I know that's a little bit different as well. So you'll notice when we drive the off-roader here, the particles spawn from all the wheels, because this vehicle is considered a four-wheel drive. So you'll notice that they're actually spawning at the front wheels as well. We can do a kind of test example here. If we just drive into this tree here, it should oh well, that happened. Alright, so let's just drive around here. You can see that they're coming from the front wheels. It's not something you really take notice of, but it's a small thing that you know, does make this mod look a lot better and makes it look more polished. So that's the thing about the wheels now. And last one was the smart car. So the smart car is considered front wheel drive. So I'm guessing you guys know what that kind of means by now, or you get the idea right now, is that if it's front wheel drive, it's going to spawn the particles at the front, because that's where the power of the vehicle is coming from, or the push of the vehicle is coming from. So the particles will spawn at the front of the vehicle there. Pretty cool. Let's go on to the next change here, which is I've improved the physics of the vehicles, and this is due to me upgrading the back end of the vehicle mod and introducing this new wheel system. Because what I can do now is I can actually get the position of the wheels and check what block is actually under it. So this is something, for instance, if I was going to drive off, let's say, like this cliff here, we're not going to, previously you would be able to continue driving forward, but because none of the wheels are actually on the ground, it's not going to give your vehicle any push, and that obviously makes sense. Like, you need the wheels to be on ground in order to push it, but because you're in the air, there's nothing to grip onto. So for vehicles to be driven now, they have to be on the ground. Otherwise, you can still like go off a cliff and whatnot, but your vehicle will lose its forward momentum and will eventually just go straight down instead of going forward. I've also made sure that in scenarios like this, so sometimes just because of how Minecraft works, you can actually do something like this with your vehicle. You know, don't ask me why this is how this is possible. But where I was getting to is that in this scenario here, it's only going to use these two wheels here that are touching the ground to calculate the max speed of the vehicle, because as we know, the stock tires reduce the speed by 10%. So if we have, well, these are the only ones touching, and if both of these are on the, you know, off-road currently, it's going to reduce the speed. And I think, oh, it reduces it more than 10% actually, because it's off-road. But it only calculates considering these two wheels on the ground. These ones are just kind of like ignored, because previously what I had originally implemented is that in this scenario you would actually drive faster having two wheels on the ground and then two wheels off, because it kind of considered these as driving in the air and didn't actually apply any reduction to the max speed. So I had to make it so it ignored them and just only use the wheels that are actually touching the ground. So that's just a quick thing I wanted to mention. Let's go on to the next change here, and I don't want to try and say I'm trying to be woke, guys. I'm trying to be woke and not try to say because that's what I do in like a lot of my videos, and especially when I do these raw recordings, it's really hard not to say the word But having that said, let's go on to the next change. Next change is that vehicles can now be pick blocked, and this is really cool because let's say you're setting up like a server with your friends and you want to set up like a race real quickly with all the same types of vehicles, and especially if you've customized your vehicle as well. So if you've put a diamond engine into your vehicle, you've painted it, you've changed around the wheels, you've painted the wheels, maybe, oh no, I don't think that applies yet. I've still got to improve it a little bit, but you know, if you were to create that vehicle again, it would take a while. However, now you can simply just pick block it. So let's grab a vehicle that actually has some changes to it. Let's go ahead, let's grab this go-kart real quickly, change around the wheels. We won't bother changing it around the engine. I know it works, and you guys believe me that it works. So let's go ahead, let's pick block this now, and we get a go-kart vehicle crate. Let's pop this down just behind it, pop one here too, and as you can see, we've spawned the exact same vehicle as well. It has the racing wheels with the red rims. So yeah, just a really small feature. I did show that off in the main video. Let's go on to the next feature now, which is I've reduced the amount of items you get back when you destroy vehicles. And this is something that I kind of discovered when I actually showcased it on my main channel. I kind of realized that it gave back too many materials, because destroying a vehicle in the vehicle mod is supposed to be rare. Like, it's really difficult to actually destroy your vehicle. Like, the only way you can really destroy it is if you seriously drive crazy, so like driving off a cliff every 2 seconds. And even if you do drive off a cliff a couple of times, you can easily just take it to a jack, grab a hammer and repair it. But I wanted to make it less forgiving when you actually destroy the vehicle, and that's going to be the key word of the day in this mod, in this video today. I've already said it before, I'm saying it now. It is less forgiving when you destroy a vehicle. So let's go ahead, let's destroy this right now. I'm just going to go ahead, grab a diamond sword. Yes, that is a sword from Hightail as well. Somebody did actually point, well, they didn't point it out, they thought something was up with my sword in the main video. So let's go ahead, let's destroy this. Might take a little bit here. I am actually going to be making the health different for different types of vehicles, because all the vehicles have the same type of health. But if you think about it, something like the go-kart should have less health than the off-roader, because this is a much bigger vehicle. So if not like maybe like 100 more health compared to the go-kart. So that's something I gotta change in the next update. So here we go. We have the materials. Let's go ahead, head into creative mode here. Let's pick these up and let's have a look. Let's analyze this. So if we go and grab out the workstation here, we should see that we can't craft the smart car now, but we can actually see how much we have remaining. So let's go ahead, let's click show remaining. So it looks like ooh, that actually didn't really change. I'm gonna have to look into that. I swear I changed that around. Okay, that's definitely not reducing as much as I thought it would. We should definitely have a lot less there. So it looks like we only need 1 iron ingot, 2 black wool, glass pane, and 6 panels in order to fix this. That's definitely a little bit strange. I swear I changed that around. I'm gonna have to look into that. Anyway, let's go ahead, let's move on to the next change, and this looks like it is improved vehicle full logic. And what I mean by that is, in the previous update there was an issue which I actually discovered while I was recording the video. Maybe not like this vehicle, but maybe it's something like this. Is that, you know, driving off not necessarily a tree. I don't know how I can show it off. I think I have to go over here in order to show it off. It happened when I was actually driving off a cliff, and it might happen to you guys sometimes when you are driving around. Let's make sure we can just get across here. Oh, that happened. We might actually be able to trigger it here somehow. There's like a glitch in the vehicle mod that I don't really know how to fix up. I think it's just a Minecraft glitch. It happens here quite often. So if you try to climb a cliff like this, for instance. Alright, here we go. So if I just slowly make it do this, you'll see here, watch. Yeah, there we go. See that glitching? See that glitching there? So this is something that happens quite often in my vehicle mod. There we go. That was a good... There we go. Look at that. So that's something that happens quite often in my vehicle mod. Ooh, it kind of happened there. But basically, that would happen, and some reason it triggers the fall damage for some reason. Even though I'm not falling, it triggers the fall damage. Now, I did show an extended amount there, so usually when that does happen, you're not going to be holding it for that long that I did then. So that was just an example. I might have to tweak it a little bit more so it doesn't do that. But basically, it's not as bad as it was in the previous update, and that's important when you're driving around on some cliffs. So it shouldn't happen too much, but I'll look into it a little bit more, see if I can improve it. Maybe even see if I can actually fix that bug itself. Well, this leads me on to the next change in a nice way, because this vehicle is actually damaged now, and just because of a glitch with shaders, it kind of renders weird. I don't know why. It's something to do with Optifine. It renders the damage on vehicles really weird, which is kind of disappointing because I put a lot of effort into that and it just happens to break when Optifine's installed. So I might try and look for a fix for this, but for now, this vehicle is actually broken. But however, now when we actually use a hammer, it is going to take damage. I thought it would be a good gameplay mechanic because, you know, if you do destroy your vehicle, you can repair it for free. However, now it's more of like, you can damage your vehicle, you can repair it easily, but you do have to craft a hammer and it will take damage. And after a certain amount of hits, it will break the hammer, so it means you have to craft a new one. But I haven't made it too kind of underpowered. Basically, you just right click it like normal. There we go, and we have 188 durability left, so there's 200 hits available with the hammer. So after that, once it hits 0, it will break. So that is a cool thing about the hammer now. It has durability. Not really much more to say about it. Now we're actually going to go on to bug fixes. Nothing, this is like probably, I don't know, I wouldn't consider it boring. I don't find it boring, but definitely not as like, you know, content worthy of the main features we've looked at in this video already. But that is, I fixed the crash when rendering vehicle damage. So if you guys know about the new rendering system, the new damage system, that kind of damage marks that happens when the vehicle is damaged, it will kind of render damage on the outside of the vehicle. There was an issue where I forgot how it happened, but it's like repairing the vehicle. Oh no, it would happen when the vehicle takes damage, and it would go into a negative health. Like it would go past 0 and it would go into a negative health. And how the code works is like it had like the current health take the damage. However, if you have the current health take a minus value, it technically adds on to it. So it was, you know, the maximum health of the vehicle, I think is like 150, but it was setting the health to like 250, and because of that, it was causing an issue and actually made the game crash. So hopefully you understood what I said there, but that's fixed now. I fixed an issue with fuel drums not working, and I actually discovered this. If you guys watched my video where I showed you guys how to create fuel in the vehicle mod, I actually discovered it then, but yeah, fuel drums will actually drop now. You do have to be in survival mode, of course. Creative mode will not work. Actually, I think these might not drop because they don't have any sort of fuel in it, so they're essentially the same item as we have here. But if they did have fuel in it, let's see if we can actually do it right now. Let's grab out the fuelium. It's gonna, okay, well, you can't do that. Don't do what I did, guys. Don't do that. Okay, definitely can't put it in. That's kind of a disappointment. I'm gonna have to look into that, see if I can fix that up. But if you do have fuel in here, it will actually drop it as a an item now, and a separate item, of course, with the fuel inside of it, so you don't lose it. Ooh, that's actually, I'm gonna have to think about that. That actually doesn't really, I don't know. I don't know if that's fair or not. Maybe I'd have to make it, you have to have silk touch, but maybe the fuel drums, if you destroy them, you lose the fuel, because the whole idea of jerry cans is to make fuel portable, and if these are portable, then it kind of defeats the purpose of the jerry cans, because you can bring these around. These hold a lot more fuel than the jerry cans, so I'm gonna have to look into that. Definitely, I have ideas how I could make fuel transportable without using the jerry cans, and that would be using a fluid trailer, which I plan to eventually add into the mod. So we've got like storage trailer, we've got vehicle trailer. We need to add in a fluid trailer, so it'd be like a fluid tank on top of a trailer, which would be really cool. So look out for that. That will be the way that you transport it around, not using fuel drums. They're more of like a permanent stay in the same position type storage. The next change is again another bug fixes. We're just going through bug fixes now. Fixed trailers playing a stepping sound when moving. So I realized in the, I don't know if it was my last video, the last video before, I forgot what update it was, but essentially when you would have a trailer attached to a vehicle, so let's go ahead, let's grab this one. For some reason it was playing like the stepping sound when you were moving. Like right now you can only hear the stepping sound on my feet, but the trailer here was also doing it. So I actually fixed it up. Like it was fixed for the other vehicles, but it wasn't fixed for trailers. So just fix that up. Doesn't play the stepping sound for the trailers now. Fixed the crash on dedicated servers. Yes, I already mentioned that. Fixed the dune buggy wheels. Yes, I fixed this too. So a little small issue, not really that you guys would notice it at all, but I do, is that the rear wheels on the dune buggy were actually like flipped. So this one here was on that side and vice versa, and that would mean that the Cray Industries logo was actually facing inwards and you couldn't see it at all. So fix them around. Cray Industries is now on the outside of the wheel. Of course, gotta show off Cray Industries, you know, that's where all these vehicles come from. Next change is, well, I think this is the last one, is I fixed the trailer wheel rotation. So there was an issue previously. I don't know, is this, yeah, this is, I think this is a part of this update, is that when a trailer would move, the wheels would spin in the wrong direction. So I'm pretty sure they were spinning the opposite way. So I fixed that up. It now has the wheels rotating correctly. The only thing is that I haven't fixed up is when you move backwards, they still go forward. So I need to figure out how I can determine if it's gone backwards or forwards. I think I can figure that out. maybe. I'll see if I can figure out the calculations for that. But that pretty much covers the this update, guys. Hopefully you've enjoyed this changelog here. Some sort of final words that I want to say maybe about the vehicle mod, and that I'm kind of happy about. And it's kind of good for you guys as well, but it's a little bit more technical, is that I've actually refactored so much of the vehicle mod, especially like this new wheel system. I can add in wheels really easily. I can do so many things now, like you know, the spawning the particles at the wheels was really easy to do. I refactored the entire rendering system of vehicles, sorry. So it's really easy for me to add in new vehicle renders. Previously, it was such a pain to add in a new vehicle render because this took ages. You had to like create this like class from scratch, but now I've refactored the system so much. All you have to do is add like this one class with like this one method in order to render your vehicle. You literally could call just one line of code to render the vehicle. That is it. Like previously you had to do this massive, you know, tons of code, but now it's literally like one line of code in order to like render the vehicle here. Otherwise the vehicles are essentially just properties. Like I specify the position of all the wheels on the vehicle, and it's all handled automatically in the rendering system. And same with like the body position. The position of the players will eventually be a new system as well, because I want to make it so if you actually like right click the passenger seat here, you're actually going to sit in the passenger seat instead, which is going to be an interesting mechanic I add into the vehicle mod. But it's going to be really cool. It's going to be cool. But all this is pretty much leading up to the 1.0 release of the vehicle mod, which is still coming, guys. Like there's still things I want to add into the vehicle mod that haven't been added in yet. I definitely want to add in a couple more vehicles, maybe even a new wheel type. I've got a list of things, but it's getting extremely close, guys, extremely close. And this is honestly one of the coolest projects I've worked on so far, like in my sort of programming career entirely. You know, I like my model creator, but still, like this mod, I've put so much work into it. I'm really happy with the outcome. Lots of people love this mod as well. I think it just like recently it kind of blew up on CurseForge a little bit. It was like, I think it was getting significant more downloads than it was like a month ago. So I'm really happy about that. People are learning about it. There's a couple YouTubers out there doing a series with this mod installed, which is really cool. So thank you guys so much. But I think that is going to end off this video today. Let's go ahead, let's destroy everything right now. But if you guys did enjoy this changelog today, go ahead. And I'd appreciate if you drop a like down below, subscribe as well, turn on the bell notifications. Oh, I was about to burp there. You know what to do, turn on the bell notifications to keep up to date and get them notifications when I upload a video. And yeah, that's pretty much it. This update is available, so you can download it. I'll put a links in the description below, but that's pretty much it. I'll catch you guys later. Bye.